There's our two players right there, and in the top right-hand corner, we have our Orange Terran player, sponsored by Razor, fighting for his tournament life. It's Illusion. And, of course, this is a rematch from before because his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand corner is our Purple Zerg player from Acer, Scarlett. And don't forget, guys, you can vote on these players right now live on the IPL app, just downloaded from the iOS App Store. And you can influence those numbers that you saw up at the front. Give your vote and support to who you think is going to win this match.
So I'm actually really excited to see Illusion on this map. I mean, I do have a small bit of bias on the guy. As I mentioned, it was one of the first pros that I actually casted, and it's an awesome guy overall. So I want to see what exactly he has in store here for Scarlett. With this map being a little bit on the smaller side in terms of going across the middle of the map, his multi-pronged aggression actually becomes very strong on this part because you have so many options to come in from the third. We saw him play against Grubby on this map, and we saw him literally just being all over the place, the natural, the main, the third, the little flank on the right side as well, and just making his opponent make mistakes. Now, with that being said, Scarlett does have a good amount of map awareness. We've been seeing that constantly throughout all of our games, so Illusion's got to work really hard to make that aggression work.
All right, well, we'll see if he can get that done here. Of course, we did have that first set go all the way to the distance. It was a full 3-game set. The last game went 40 minutes long. Pretty incredible game, actually, if you guys want to check it out. Illusion was behind a good portion of the game, but found ways to stabilize and even start to eke a little bit of an advantage with the amount of economic damage he was doing between nukes and run-bys and drops. It was cool.
I like to play here from Illusion going CC first immediately here. We know that Scarlett's been playing very macro-based, very greedy-esque like, so why not just go ahead and go for a greedy play yourself? And Illusion will be doing so at the same time. I would love to see a third command center follow-up after he gets his rack set out, just because I think it would really just counter Scarlett's build to get the upgrades out a little bit quicker, grab the double engineering base, because she has not put any aggression early on in any of these matches. So if you can take advantage of that, get a strong economy, and just start pushing across the middle of the map with those 63 to 65 SV pushes I was talking about in the last game, I really think Illusion has a chance to really just do a nice amount of damage.
Now, Illusion here is actually doing a build that we saw in game number 3 of the first set between these two players. In game number 1, if you remember, he decided to go command center first, racks, gas, then second racks. This time, deciding to bypass that initial early gas and going for a double racks right away after this expansion.
Just a safe play overall. I wouldn't mind, actually, if he doesn't go for a third command center, going to double gas and just getting a quick tech out. We haven't had a Banshee come out from Illusion quite yet, so just throwing in a little bit of a wrench into the series would be really nice, especially against seeing Scarlett against Lucifron take so much damage from Banshees. It could be a huge opportunity for Illusion to get his own damage in as well.
All right, so Illusion getting a good scout here. We want to remind everyone, of course, that tickets for IPL 6 are on sale right now at tickets.ign.com, and we're actually having a promotion at the moment where if you purchase a night at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas during the stay at the event, just email your reservation over to IPL events at ign.com. We'll actually give you a free general admission ticket to the show.
Well, Scarlett is changing up her build here now. She's finally going into gas here and grabbing that speed as soon as possible. And it looks like she's leaving those drones on there at the same time. It looks like only 2 here. So this gives her a possibility of going for a quicker Baneling Nest if need be to get some aggression done on your opponent. You usually get the Baneling Nest pretty quickly here as she's about to have 150. And then you can get on your opponent with 3 to 4 Banelings as it does finish up. And then maybe catch some SCVs off if your opponent's a little bit too greedy. But Illusion with grabbing the 2 racks afterwards will have the means to defend anything like that if it did happen.
And I really like the fact, though, that Scarlett's doing something completely different.
I agree.
We've seen so often, we've seen now for 6 games, actually, 4 Queen into double gas, 6-minute hatch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a total switch. We have 2 base layer tech hitting. And I don't know if Illusion's going to be ready for this, especially him playing a little bit more macro-oriented right now.
Yeah, he's following up into a factory here, grabbing a reactor as well, wants to start some Hellion production if possible, bunkering up at home at the same time. With it being 2 base on 2 base, though, Illusion should be feeling a little bit on the stronger side if he does get a scout on. I would like for him to start seeing an SCV or a couple Marines across the middle of the field here. You want to try and get at least a tell here if your opponent's gone for that third expansion. And Scarlett, again, not doing so, but you usually will have it before 6 minutes. So.
That's right, but I mean, almost exclusively you see people going for the scout just in case.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it may only help you 1 out of every 100 games, but that one game, hence this game right here, you want to be able to have that information.
I want to know if Scarlett's going to be going for meter play. Like I mentioned, her meter play is really strong. She does it a lot on ladder when she's streaming, but when it comes to tournament play, she goes more of the Infestor route. So if she could throw some meters in there, again, it's another wrench being thrown into the series and could force Illusion and his multi-prong aggression to actually sit at home. And there we go, Spire Tech on the way. She has the 3rd and 4th gas at the same time, so she'll be able to start really accruing a lot of gas. Usually when that Spire pops out, you'll have about 700 to 800 gas, so you'll have 8 meters popping.
Yeah, and 8 Mutas could do a lot of damage here, especially because, yes, I mean, Illusion is producing a fair number of Marines so far, but he's going up into a starport early, at a lot of add-ons, a lot of upgrades, so his Marine count is going to be fairly low. There's not a lot of anti-air around either because he hasn't invested into that engineering base. We're not going to see missile turrets anytime soon. So there's the potential for Scarlett to do some very real damage, and immediately Illusion should say, wait a second, that entry's really late.
Yeah, this will immediately have him throw down an engineering bay and probably start some missile turrets if you ever scout that. The thing is, Scarlett is actually falling into a Bailey nest, but notice she hasn't done double evolution chamber. There's a strategy actually where you get out the first Spire out, and then you get a really strong ground army so your opponent ever can't push out and you expand heavily. She's actually going to go for a very big amount of mutas here and constantly keep up the production from what it looks like in her build.
Okay, well, she gets a great scout, sees pretty much everything on the back of this Overseer. And we do have that reactor at starport now ready to go, producing medevacs for the time being. And here we go, that Spire just finishing up right now. She has enough gas saved up for almost 9 mutas. There's going to be the 9th, but it looks like some of the gas actually being allocated in other places.
Yeah, she went for bailing speed first here. She wants to have the availability, if we do have a push from Illusion, to crush it. She'll have an army that can literally, if she can get Lings behind, the Bailings will come in and just kill off any type of Marine infrastructure that we have from Illusion. Illusion's actually getting aggressive here with a nice amount of Hellions and some Marines. He wants to keep these Hellions in front, actually. He would prefer that his Hellions actually take the brunt of the damage from the Bailings. And actually, with this push out, he's forcing Scarlett to actually make Bailings, which will be less mutas on the field.
Okay, well, the mutas now are positioned to try and do some damage, or at least flank, because Illusion's pushing with a lot of units right now. Stim is finished up. No other upgrades on the way quite yet, but he is just going to move in right now. Pretty decent surround from Scarlett. Pins a few units in position. A great bailing shot to start things off. The Hellions have all died, and now, because of the way that the anti-air has been neutralized, these Mutalisks are just able to chase down these medevacs completely unopposed.
Yeah, the spread was just a little bit too late there, and Scarlett crushes that army, creating more Bailings as well, and it looks like Illusion's being forced to defend against this. He actually only has a few Marines on the field, so he's actually going to evacuate the bunker. He's going to jump in with one Marine. Geronimo, he yells, as he's going to be forced to pull back, but Lings and Mutas coming straight into the natural. There is nothing here to defend. Scarlett Meg to take the game. She gets a big hit on the SCVs, and she's actually chasing down the Marines. Will she get the hit? Oh, just do it. There we go. Finally killing off all the SCVs.
Yeah, but these Mutas are going to be plenty enough to finish off the game. There's GG. Illusion goes down. Scarlett takes game number 1 of this best of 3 here. So Illusion now down to his last game in the tournament. Scarlett, of course, just 1 game away from a rematch against Lucifer in the grand finals.
Yeah, unfortunately for Illusion, when he came with that first initial push with the number of Marines and a number of Hellions, he just didn't split fast enough. It just a small misclick, unfortunately, and a good, 8-10 Marines died up there, and that's a lot of DPS suddenly just destroyed out of your composition, and Scarlett just doing a good job of following up with a strong push to finish off the game. So very quick, very precise, but executed perfectly.
All right, guys, well, we're going to go ahead and run to a commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be Ohana as the setting for game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.